Okay, in this section, we're going to talk about clarifying the problem. Now, before you can identify a solution to the sales slump that you're experiencing, the first thing you got to really do is clarify what's causing the problem in the first place. Why are you struggling? Why are you feeling like you can't get ahead? Is it internal factors? Is it external factors? It can be a variety of different things. But if you don't have clarity on the challenge, you won't know what steps that you need to take to improve your situation. Now, what you need to do is take a pause, take some time, and think about how did we get where we currently are today so that we can plan how to get to where we want to be. What happened in your business that you didn't anticipate? A lot of us are coming out on the other side of an economic contraction and COVID-19. What other things went wrong? Take stock of what's happening and understand that there are a lot of common problems that salespeople are facing right now. First of all, market changes. There's economic factors. There's new technology. There's different competition and a lot of other things that are causing the marketplace around you to change, which means your customers are changing, your competitors are changing. Being able to see through the other side of this difficult time requires your ability to adapt your business to your surroundings. Think about how Zoom has replaced a lot of in-person meetings right now, and the lack of travel has required people who are sellers to get into a different mode of dealing with customers on a face-to-face basis. The second thing to consider is that you might have a failure to understand your current consumer or your current market. And what we mean by that is that the circumstances around what's happening today may have caused people to no longer be interested in your product or service. There's a possibility that you have pushed forward with selling what you're used to selling, but you may not understand your customer or your marketplace right now. So really take some time to understand what is it that your target consumer truly wants in this current environment. What is motivating them to buy, and is that different than what it was 6 months ago, a year ago? Another thing that a lot of people are overlooking right now is that they may have an irrelevant pricing strategy. More than ever, we have moved into the subscription-based economy. We've moved into I want it now and I want it cheap, and I want it now and I don't care what it costs. So there's two sides to this scenario. If the prices that you are charging for whatever you sell don't coincide with what consumers demand or want right now, you're probably not going to sell much. And until you look back and step away from your business to the point where you can see the fuller picture, you may not know whether or not that's true for you. So it's really critical that you understand, for what you're selling, is it valuable to the marketplace, and what are people willing to pay for that? As well as, where does your product offering fit in relation to your competitors? Right now I'm talking to you about whether or not you should be making changes to your product. Well, chances are your competitors have already gone through that process and are making those changes for their own product. Now, here's one that might seem a little strange, especially for the tone of this presentation, and that is too much growth. It is actually possible for you to have too much growth. And not too much growth in the way that more money or more customers is a bad thing, but in a way that a lot of people are unaware of how to handle rapid growth in their business. There's a lot of industries and a lot of businesses that even during the pandemic, even during economic contraction, have not seen a recession. They're exploding, they're growing. And you actually might be in one of those businesses, but growth can be a good thing, except for when you're unable to keep up with the demand. If you are in an industry, and I'll use Zoom as an example, that has seen a meteoric rise in usage, in acceptance, being able to handle all of that inbound business can put strains on your existing systems. So not being able to keep up with that demand can cause customer service issues. It can cause a difficulty in your ability to deliver on your product. Depending upon what it is, you got to make sure that your stock is in place, or your ability to push out your virtual products is in tune. There's a lot to consider here. So understand that you might be experiencing a contraction in your business because you can't keep up with the expansion in your business. And if you'd like to learn more about this, I actually have a whole other training that talks about this very, very topic. It's a training that I could deliver to your team on a custom basis. We could do it around your actual product and service. So please reach out to me at hello@jeffsarro.com if you'd like to learn more about how we can get on this specific topic in your business. Now, you really want to make sure that you're spending this time identifying the key problems that are contributing to the painful sales slump that you're going through right now. I mean, no one really likes to be reminded of the ways they've experienced difficulty or failure, and certainly the why around that. But if you want to get back to the top of your sales game, especially right now, you have to be able to put your finger on the pulse of what is holding you back. So, think about this. If you were feeling sick and you had to go to the doctor because you're not operating at your full health potential, what's the first thing that they're going to do? Well, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take a look, and they're going to ask you a million questions, and they're going to poke and prod, and they're going to figure out what's causing the illness. And only then, when the doctor has figured out what are the symptoms, what are the causes, can they prescribe the proper treatment. And that's what we're going through right now. If the doctor would have you start taking a whole bunch of random medications just because they've just prescribed anecdotally things that might or might not work, you're probably not going to get any better. You have to really know what's causing the discomfort. And that same principle is true in your sales. You have to identify the cause of the problem, whether it's external, internal, your fault or not. You have to take a look at the cause of the problem so that you can determine the right solution. The sooner you identify the problem, the better you will be.